All right, student loans part two. I'm responding to this comment specifically randomly because it was the nicest of the comments like it. Most of them were just a bunch of angry, bitter, boomerist, nonsense about, you took out a loan, you got to pay it back, blah, blah, blah. Like, okay, listen, let's have this out. If you have a friend who is a known junkie, okay, put yourself in this situation. They're a known junkie. You know for a fact that virtually every dollar they've ever gotten has gone for them to go get high. This totally fruitless endeavor, okay? And they come to you asking you for money, for a loan. You know for a fact, if you loan them money, where it's going to go. But they swear up and down, no, it's going to do this, and I'm going to do that, and on and on and on. And so, like a fool, you loan them a bunch of money, and they never pay it back, and it goes exactly where you thought it was going to go. Who is to blame in that scenario? That would be you. You are to blame in that scenario. Let's be honest about what student loans actually were here, okay? Student loans were a bailout to academia. Academia hasn't had anything to really offer the American people for like 60 years. It's really that long. It's that bad. That's why whenever someone gets out of academia with their diploma in hand, they run off to a company. Company says, "Do you have any experience?" It's because the reason why guys like me want experience. I value experience way over all of your paper nonsense, because that means you're actually in the real world doing something. And in the real world, things have changed. Most of academia is like 50, 60, 70 years, 100 years in some cases behind reality. Particularly in the business world, especially in the workaday, the everyday world. So they've been behind on everything. So they haven't had anything really palpable to offer, right? So they needed a bailout. And the quickest way to bail them out is say, well, we'll just go ahead and back all these loans. That way banks will just make all these ridiculous loans to get these absurd degrees that nobody would ever actually do a loan for. Okay? So the idea is that, well, but then, the government will lose all this money. I don't know what to do with you people when you make that kind of nonsensical argument. This is the same government that lost $4.7 trillion and has no idea what happened. It just sort of, we washed our clothes and poof, the money just disappeared. I don't know what happened to it. Not one person had to go to HR and watch a video on fiscal responsibility and then fill out a report or something like that and go on 90 days probation. Not one person. Not one person had, got a stern lecture about financial responsibility. Not one person went to jail. $4.7 trillion. Poof. No idea where it went. Oh, man. Total bummer. Average American, if they lost $4,700, would be freaking the fuck out if that happened. If $4,700 just vanished out of your bank account and you had no idea where it went and how and where and like nobody could find it, most Americans would be freaking the fuck out. They would spend the next 3 weeks panicking, trying to figure out how they're going to pay their fucking bills. Right? Right? So, that falls on deaf ears that the government and blah, blah, blah. And morality, first of all, fuck morality. Dude, no. You can't apply morality to bankers. You can't in one side, especially the fucking idiots on the right. The people on the right have become bigger idiots than the left, which I didn't think was fucking possible. But, dude, here we are. You're saying that the government is run by P3DOs. You're saying that the government is run by another country, an ethno-state. You're saying that all this other stuff, and then yet at the same time you're defending this and saying we need to pay it. What the fuck is the matter with you people? You're fucking schizophrenic, and you don't know it. That's the biggest problem with stupid people. They don't know how stupid they are, and they're fucking dangerous. Ignorance and stupidity mixed together and then combined with greed is fucking deadly. That's a deadly combination. So, no, the same government. By the way, let's continue. Same government that as of yesterday wants to raise the debt ceiling another $4 trillion so that we can have this orange messiah spend a bunch of money on endless bullshit to keep propping up all these fake fucking companies. For the military industrial complex. $1.01 trillion in so-called defense. Defense from what? Let's be real. Defense from what? We've already been invaded, and we're still being invaded by H-1Bs. I wrote a whole article on this long before that orange dickhead was even elected, pointing this out. Dude, you either deal with Biden's illegals, army of illegals, or Trump's army of legals that they're just going to keep importing. They're not going to stop the H-1B thing because big tech wants it. I work in the trucking sector. Dude, it's fucking flooded with H-1Bs right now. Fucking flooded. So much so that it's actually become a hazard on the road. Not a day goes by now that I'm just seeing like death and carnage on the fucking road because of all the H-1Bs. Guys who don't speak English, guys who don't know what the hell you're doing, and guys that are just plain fucking stupid. You can't fix stupid, dude, because you have common sense, and stupid people don't know to use that tool. Common sense is a tool that stupid people are supposed to use, but they don't know how to use it. It's sad, but it's true. So when I see all of you guys defending this, like, you understand how ridiculous that sounds to defend the student loan nonsense. Like, well, but morality. No, fuck morality. No. Well, they agreed to take out a loan. Like, yeah, and the government has put you something in the neighborhood of $222 trillion in debt and unfunded liabilities that there's no way to pay. Mathematically, there's no way to pay that. In addition to the debt, in addition to the, whatever it is, 37 trillion that it is now, or no, coming up on $38 trillion that they want to increase another $4 trillion. So it'll be $42 trillion. This is going to fall on deaf ears for me because it's like, you realize this is all fake. Dollars are printed from nothing. I don't know how much more clear I can be about this. This is an economic fact. Dollars are based on debt and they are conjured from nothing. So no, I don't give a shit if Americans pay back any of these fucking ridiculous student loans to a government that should never have backed them in the first fucking place, to banks that everybody fucking hates. Like, I get this feeling that there's like this, it's weird. A bunch of people want to feel morally superior, so they make these ridiculous arguments as opposed to saying, hold on, how did we get in this position in the first fucking place? Because this should never have happened. This should never have fucking happened. None of this. So hold on a second. Who are the players involved? Oh, it's the junkies. You know what? All bets are off. All bets are off. No. If you've got junkies lending money to other junkies, no. All bets are fucking off on this one. So no, fuck the student loans. Like, this is, and everything I said, the thing is that most people, if you even made it this far in a video, and statistically nobody fucking makes it this far, but like, dude, you're gonna if I start cross-examining any of this shit, you're gonna run out of answers really fucking fast, because it's fucking bullshit. The dollar is a worthless currency. I don't care if Japan sells off all the bonds and wants to declare economic war. Like, whatever, dude. No, they're selling off worthless fucking bonds and treasuries. Who gives a shit? Well, it'll collapse the dollar. I don't give a shit. Who cares if the dollar collapses? It's long overdue. Long overdue. So, yeah, I mean, it's collapse, start over, go to a hard currency, and then this shit just doesn't happen anymore. Right? Like, then this it just stops being a fucking problem altogether. These kinds of things don't happen in a hard currency environment.